I really have given something a lot of thought. Specifically something I said roughly 24 hours ago. Actually, it was after 8 o'clock yesterday, and it's 10:07 right now, so 23 hours ago. Whatever. Before I talk about that, though, I do have a little high act of kindness. Although, considering what I am going to be talking about, I could just straight up tell you that my low is, I wish what wound up happening happened sooner. And I regret so long of it not happening. Hold on a second. There we go. My computer was flashing on the ground. I got my computer like right there. My high is what happened not once, but twice yesterday. And, I mean, the act of kindness, yesterday I made dinner for my father, and that's my act of kindness, of course. But the act of kindness I really do want to bring up involves what happened after yesterday's video. So, without further ado, good morning and happy Monday. And before I begin, I want to say that, look, I know today's Monday. No one is, at this moment, I would not be surprised if every single person watching this just cannot even at the moment. I get that. But I really do want to express that I really do want you to hear what I'm about to say. Because what happened was something I never thought would ever happen. And if for whatever reason today just really isn't your day, I really do hope that what I'm about to tell you at least kind of persuades you to think otherwise. It doesn't have to change your mind completely, because some things just can't be, some people's minds just can't change on something. That's fine, we're all human. But I need to express this. If you recall in yesterday's video, and even in the title of yesterday's video that I put on YouTube yesterday, I said that for the first time probably in my whole life. I'm not just rooting for myself. I think I'm finally beginning to have some kind of understanding what it means to love yourself. My whole life has been the belief that it was either impossible or the fact that you get satisfaction on helping others, whether you love yourself or not. Now, admittedly, and this is the part where maybe I am being a little selfish in saying this, but from the very beginning of this year, and actually maybe even a little bit maybe toward the end last year, in terms of just going out, doing stuff, seeing people, I've taken matters in my own hands. One of the reasons why it took so long for me to do that was I was convinced I could never do this alone. For all the things, both good and bad, I've said about my parents, I always knew I needed them to be with me. I mean, I've said this before. When the pandemic started, they were all I got. And for that, of course, I mean, listen, besides raising me from, a baby, and giving me life for that matter, of course I'm grateful for that. But my whole life has been, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been some good things too. But it's just been a lot of heartache, heartbreak last year for sure, rejection, depression, not having a general idea or understanding of what it means to not only love yourself, but just be able to express yourself. And I like to think that before yesterday, the expressing myself, for sure I felt like I was on the right track, doing these videos for as long as I've been doing so far. And there was plenty of satisfaction I got from it. By the way, it's probably going to come across as like I'm not going to stop making videos. Trust me, the way I see it, only two things are going to stop making me do videos, ever. Well, at least me make videos. That doesn't mean somebody else can be. Seriously, I would read words like, it doesn't mean somebody else can potentially hold on to the camera while I just have to be in front of it and then talk. You know what I mean? Like every video I've ever made has been by myself. Yeah, it's been on my camera phone for the last 47 days. But as I've always said through it all, I've kept sharp, tough, and I did it all square. On my own. And from that, I've gotten satisfaction from it. And I'm going to continue to get satisfaction from it for as long as I continue to do this. Which, honestly, I'll do it to the bitter end. To the day I die. That would be the goal. But I did say that there were two things that would get me to stop. I'd rather not say what they are because I don't want anyone to get ideas, but bear with me. And I also want to point out, maybe this was just luck. Because it really has been just sheer luck that the last several weeks I've gone out and done anything. Not just weeks, but months. I've gone and done anything at all. I would at least run into one person that I knew or haven't seen in years, like since high school. In some cases, people I've known since kindergarten. And because here's the thing, and I've said this before, and trust me, you're going to hear me say this in December. Speaking of which, happy first day of May, everyone. You're going to hear me say this in December, but up until my sophomore year, considering what was going on with me at that time, I was legit relegated to say, you know what, after high school, I'm done with everyone here. I'll just live my life as a recluse and have everyone forget about me. Or forget whatever they thought they knew about me or what was being told about me from, adults, faculty, and authority figures. And I really was almost relegated to do that. And while it took about 3 years from the time I contemplated suicide to the day I stopped, I would eventually stop. Granted, it took quite possibly one of the greatest tragedies I myself have ever witnessed. But I'm here because of it. Since then, from December 14th, 2008, to right now, May 1st, 2023, nearly 15 years, I really have gone through life not knowing what on earth I'm doing. Not a clue. I mean, even when it came to stuff like graduating from college, I was never really a great student in college. Don't get me wrong, I went to all my classes, I never partied too much or anything, I never liked to read or study. But I did it. I graduated college. I ran 4 marathons. I've done 4 100-mile bike rides for charity. And I've got to bear witness to friends getting married, family getting married, my own brother having kids and making me an uncle in the process. I got to do all that. But I was never alone. And I never thought I would ever be able to do it unless I had family with me or someone with me. I get satisfaction, but I have no idea how to love myself. And maybe it's a little and maybe it does seem a bit early that considering these last 4 months have been the best 4 months of my life. And they were in winter of all times. Like, winter should be the most depressing time of year. And don't get me wrong, come on, it's winter. No one really cares for when it's cold and snowy out and stuff. But they were all extraordinarily kind. And then it hit me. I've done so many things this year. Like, go to all the events and pop-ups to see my friends. Go to stuff like the 2300 Degrees thing that happened at the Corn Museum of Blast. To family-related events. Listen, I'm always going to be with family. I mean, family is easily the most important. They are the most important people in my life. Although, if I had a girlfriend, I'd be saying that a little differently now, wouldn't I? But as time's gone on, it's given me new perspective. I wake up feeling just a little bit happier than I used to. It's not much, but it's something. I wake up knowing that even if today winds up being horrible, you know what? Tomorrow probably won't be. It'll probably be much better by comparison for all I know. Or it could also be potentially worse for all I know. But who's to say? And I never knew any of this perspective until I realized yesterday that I'm beginning to have even a tiny understanding of what it means to love myself. So, I wound up saying that yesterday. In full disclosure, yesterday as I was doing yesterday's video, and I'm sure the most keen of you, the keenest of eyes probably figure this out, but I was legitimately holding back tears during yesterday's video. As soon as I stopped recording, and as soon as I started typing the post for the video on Facebook, which I would then copy and paste onto the YouTube video I made, the emotion just kept building and building and building. And then I was finally done. I walked over to my sink because I was getting my breakfast ready. And I just started crying. I let out one of the best cries I think I've ever had in my life at that time. And normally, whenever that does happen, it does make me feel a little bit nervous because in this instance, I'm all by myself. No one's around. No one's around to talk to. No one's around for me to ask. So I let out a good cry. And, after I was done, I got on with my day. And then last night, I saw my mom after she got home from work. And she had asked me what happened on Saturday night. Wanted to go on a ride, see some friends, but I wanted to see someone who I hadn't seen forever. One of the nicest people I'd ever seen, for that matter. And, man, sometimes my mom lacks common sense, but she didn't mess up with what I'm about to tell you. I asked her, because I told her, this whole year I've been going to places, seeing people, and just taking matters in my own hands. And I know it may be a little early to even think about this, but I asked her, is this what it means to love yourself? And she said, yes. And then it got me. It's starting to get me again right now, actually. Sorry. I had never known what loving yourself means until yesterday. And I tell you what, this feels incredible. It is the most amazing feeling I think I've ever felt in my life. And I'll tell you why this really does fill me with hope. Listen, I made no secret that, I'm single, but I really want to change that. And there is someone who, for every time I talk to this one person, it not only feels right, it feels like I'm on top of the world. And I guess that's sort of what, in fact, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what bare minimum infatuation is. But for years, one thing my mom and dad have always told me is, if you ever want to be in a relationship, you need to learn how to love yourself. To which in the past I've argued that, how do I know I won't know how to do that until after I'm with said person? And come to think of it, they never really did make a counter argument for that. Then again, they're my parents. They've been able to talk their way out of anything when it comes to arguing with me. Just like all parents are supposed to do, whether they're right or wrong. But, with having just a glimpse, just an idea, and maybe that's all this is, just an idea of what it means to love yourself, I feel like I'm ready to go for it. I really think I am. Now all I gotta do is somehow, some way, within reason. I mean, let's be honest. This is the day of the internet. You can look up virtually anyone on the internet. But I'm not gonna do that. No. I told myself if I ever did this, I'd do it right. So somehow, some way, by the grace of God, I gotta go find him. It could take, and how long it will take, I don't know. But I can't deny I feel as if I'm stepping in the right direction. So, I hope y'all really at least liked what I had to say today. Because I had not one but two really great cries yesterday. Oh, I probably could have explained. When my mom told me after I asked her if this is what loving yourself means, that's when I cried again. Probably could have done a better job explaining that. But I definitely feel a lot more ready today, now, than I did before yesterday. So thank you. I am very humbled I was able to share this with you. I hope that, maybe anyone who sees this sort of brightens their day a little. Hey, listen, if a big dumb idiot like me can have any idea what loving yourself means, maybe there really is help. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. If you feel as if you're going through any trouble, please talk to someone. More than welcome to talk to me. And I can never say this without saying, I'll always have your back if you ever have something to say. And I also can't end this without representing the 607. Take care, and as always, make good choices. Have a nice day, everyone.